Arun lived in a small but lively village called Nokshia in Bihar. As a child, he would hold his father's old chisel and hammer and stare at the rough pieces of wood for a long time, as if he was reading a hidden story inside them. Every house in the village had something made by his young hands: a swing in someone's yard, a wooden platform in someone's kitchen, or a study table for some child. But the village had limits, just like the tin roof of his shop, which got new holes every monsoon. Arun, at 23 years old, used to cut wood with a saw all day. At night, he looked for light in the fading fire of his mother's old stove. He worked hard with his hands, but only small coins remained in his pocket. Still, he stood under that tin roof and dreamed of a bright, big furniture showroom, with glass windows, the sweet smell of polish, and customers who came with trust, not bargaining. But the truth was harder than strong wood, empty pockets, broken tools, and medicines for his sick mother. And the moneylender Lala Raghunath would taunt him, saying, "Dreams don't bring money. Sell your shop and work in my warehouse." One cold morning, Rahim Chacha, who sold fragrant spices in faraway places, came to the shop. His eyes had the sharpness of experience. He gave an order for a big dining table and said, "I need it in a week. I will pay double." For the first time, a bright light of hope returned in Arun's eyes. On the third day, the wood got finished. In the market, teak wood had extra winter tax. He asked Lala Raghunath for a loan. The moneylender laughed and said, "You can only sell dreams, Arun. You won't get money." Arun shook his head and dragged his cycle back home in the cold, damp air. That night, sitting beside his mother's old cot, he remembered what his father once said: "Big work starts with small steps." The next morning, he took 4 foldable chairs made of bamboo and went to Patna. In a crowded square, under the hot sun, he set up his small stall. For half the day, no one even asked the price. By afternoon, a school teacher looked at the chairs with interest, sat on one to check comfort, and bought all 4. As soon as he got the money in his hand, Arun felt like someone filled new energy into his tired body. He used that money to buy 2 fresh teak planks. After returning to the shop, he worked the whole night using the saw and planer. Blisters came on his palms, his eyes turned red, but the fresh smell rising from the wood gave him courage in his heart. On the 7th day, when Rahim Chacha saw the shining table, he smiled. "Never lose courage," he said, and gave the full promised payment. That day, for the first time, Arun looked at the leaking roof and smiled. Arun's name started to spread. Orders began coming from nearby towns. Then a businessman from the city, Sharmaji, gave him a big order for 10 dining tables at once. The payment was good, but the deadline was tight. Expensive wood, a small workshop, and no workers. Arun calculated everything late into the night and sold his father's gold watch, the only thing left in his memory. When he placed the watch at the jeweler's shop, his eyes became wet, but he told himself, "This watch used to show time. Now let it change my time." A big pile of teak wood arrived. His hands alone were not enough now. Sleep became less and tiredness more. He had to wrap bandages on his fingers, yet the work never seemed to finish. In the last week, one table kept breaking again and again. There was a hidden crack inside the wood. That same evening, his mother came to the shop. Seeing her son's bent back, she burst into tears. "Son, if your body breaks, what will your dream stand on?" Arun tied a cloth tightly on his head and said, "Let me just finish the work, Ma. After that, I'll change everything." His mother held his hand and said, "Change doesn't rest only on one person's shoulders. Asking for help isn't shameful, it's wise." Her words touched his heart. The next morning, for the first time, he asked the village youth, Mohan, Seema, and Aman, to help him. Everyone agreed with excitement. One did the sanding, another mixed the polish, and someone took care of packing. The ray of hope had now become a shared light. All 10 tables were ready on time. Sharmaji was shocked when he saw the result. He gave the full payment without even counting and confirmed the next order before leaving. With that money, Arun first got the leaking roof of the shop fixed. He bought new tools and hired the same friends for regular work. When second-hand wood arrived on a truck in the fields of Nokshia, children clapped with joy. For the first time in the village, Someone's hard work gave jobs to so many people. One evening, heavy rain filled the shop with water, and the tools started getting rusty. Instead of sitting with worry, Arun lit a lantern and started making toys for children from small wooden pieces. His flame of hope was glowing in the light of that same lantern. The next day, he went to the market fair with just 50 rupees in his pocket. But as soon as a school teacher saw his wooden birds, he became happy and bought all of them. With that money, Arun again bought teak planks, because they say the stronger the wood, the higher the courage. He picked up the saw wet from cold water and promised himself, "I will not give up." Time passed. Arun's new workshop was no longer made of blue tin, but of red bricks. A calendar hung on the wall, and every delivery date was marked with a big circle. Every morning, his mother would light a lamp after her prayer. Mohan, Seema, and Aman would sit together and divide the day's work. Customers came from faraway places. Someone said, "The wood here smells like humanity." Arun now understood that success is not just about hammering. It's about the shared sweat of everyone working together. A fire in one belly may burn strong, but to run a kitchen, wood must be placed on all four sides of the stove. He created a small trust in the name of his team, so that village children could learn both carpentry and studies. After many months, the same moneylender Lala Raghunath knocked on the shop's door to order a new set of chairs. Arun smiled and said, "First, let's have some tea, Lala ji. Then we'll talk about the price." The moneylender bowed his head. Maybe for the first time, he accepted that dreams rooted in the heart are not easy to stop. In this way, that simple carpenter learned that passion is the path, hard work is the ladder, and partnership is the hand that supports you even when you're tired. When dreams and effort are connected by trust, every difficulty breaks like dry wood, and the door to success opens.